This is from an artist called Suki.
I am a musician who makes music under the name Suki, and I perform kind of live electronics, that kind of thing. How do you make it interesting with a live performance? I feel like quite a lot of the time I'm stuck behind a laptop or a keyboard or that kind of thing. As a solo artist, how do you try and make things interesting for a live audience?
There we go. How do you make it interesting for a live audience when you're essentially stuck behind a laptop? Who wants to go first? Because you're all nodding.
giving away industry secrets here. This is my bread and butter. That's how I do it now.
This is literally what the masterclass is about. I'm learning all your dirty secrets. Right, go on then, Jack, you start.
Ultimately, it's what do you want to watch from that performance? Like, bearing in mind you'll never see it. Bearing in mind you will never ever see your performance on stage. What's the experience that you want your audience to have? My first tour was when I really started to properly understand that, because I also got like an immediate reaction of what was working versus what wasn't. But the thing for me is like my favorite performers love performance. Like, as much as they are some of the best musicians on like that have ever existed, what they also are just theatrical entertainers. And ultimately, for the performance that I want to give, personally speaking, that's part of what I think the ticket price of a paying audience is. They're coming to see me as a musician. They're coming to see me as a performer. Like, when I watch old like Prince performances or David Byrne performances, or even like watching Imogen Heap's stuff, like, it's so much of what they all do is the music is one thing, the performance is another, and there is an element of theatrics there. And in theatre, you always have to be honest with your audience. Like, never lie to your audience, never send them down the wrong path and then laugh at them for taking your instruction. You have to lead them to what you want them to believe from you. And with that, you can play with that relationship. You can play with what you're giving them. You know, I try to make sure that a lot of my show is what you hear from me is something you can see as well. If you hear a guitar, it's probably because I'm playing it, or you've seen me trigger something and then suddenly there's a guitar somewhere. That was just always really important to me, because it meant that the audience could see something and then hear something. But for other people, it's different, and for other people want their audience to kind of see and observe and take with them a different thing altogether. But I think it's ultimately that. It's, if you were the audience, if you were watching yourself perform, what would you want to see?
I can totally see that. So do you never watch any of your performances back, Jack?
How can I? Like, that would mean having to like watch myself. No, I do. But that's the thing, is I really enjoy it. Like, it's fun. Like, for me, when I look back at some of my earlier performances, the only bits I'll skip towards is just when I'm playing live drums, because watching that is so fun. I can see myself enjoying myself, and that's what I think an audience wants to see.
Very, very much so. What about, I suppose, Inka and Georgia? You guys both have like pretty similar setups. I mean, Georgia, you have your full kit around you as well. How do you guys mix it up when you are with your laptops? You know, you're playing your triggers, as you say. How do you keep it entertaining from an audience perspective?
I haven't got a laptop on stage.
You're not at all?
No. I know that it does work for some art producers and some things, and, you know, I do, but I've never wanted a laptop up on stage. That's just me.
You're just playing and dancing around and having a wicked time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a really, I would just say, everything that Jack said, I couldn't put it any more eloquent myself. So yeah, literally everything that Jack said, just ask. It's about, for me, I was really inspired by techno and Chicago house and DJs, actually, Helena. So for me, it was like, even though I'm by myself, it was like, how can I make the audience have an experience? And for me, some of the best things I've ever experienced is from a DJ. And that was what I asked myself. That was the question I asked myself. I said, how can I give the audience, because as Jack says, they're paying to see a theatrical thing. You know, it's about how can I help the audience lift up their days. They might be in jobs or whatever, and they come to see me play, and it's just about them. It's about them lifting them out of and taking them into another realm of consciousness. So that's what I asked myself, basically.
Amazing. Inka, is that pretty much the same for you?
No, I have a very different point of view.
Excellent, that's what
to this. I totally hear what everyone's saying, but at the same time, I never saw myself being that kind of an artist who takes the microphone and goes, hello, now I'm here to entertain. It's just not me. So I found a different way of entertaining, and it's by teaming up with a visual person who would do visuals, because my music is more about taking the listener into like a sound journey. So then I wanted the visuals to, you know, be with the same concept. So then I don't have to worry too much about, you know, getting out of my my push in my comfort zone, and I can just focus on the quality of the music.